Usually, secret societies are framed as elite groups manipulating global events from the shadows, architects of a world order designed for their own gain. India's deepest secret operates on a different mandate, an ancient society tasked with safeguarding humanity from its own technical advancements. The origins of this group trace back 2 millennia to the Kalinga War. It was a conflict of such brutality that over 100,000 people died, leaving the landscape physically transformed by the carnage. Emperor Ashoka, the victor, was devastated by the human cost of his expansion. He abandoned military conquest entirely and turned to the nonviolent principles of Buddhism to find a new path for his empire. During this spiritual transition, Ashoka reportedly encountered a repository of advanced scientific knowledge. He realized that this information, if accessed by the wrong hands, could cause destruction on a scale the world was not yet equipped to handle. This archive contained sophisticated data on anti-gravity, biological weaponry, and advanced psychological manipulation. It described surgical techniques and energy sources far beyond the reach of the 3rd century BCE. Ashoka understood that a civilization still settling disputes with iron swords was too immature to wield these forces safely. He concluded that public access to this intelligence would lead to a rapid, man-made collapse of society. To prevent this, he divided the intelligence into 9 separate volumes. Each book focused on a single, isolated discipline to ensure no one person could master the entire system at once. He identified 9 elite masters, each an expert in a specific field, and entrusted 1 book to each of them. This created the 9 Unknown Men, a hidden college of guardians. By fragmenting the knowledge, Ashoka made it impossible for a single individual to monopolize the entire archive, creating a system of checks and balances that spanned generations. To keep the society active across centuries, Ashoka established a strict rule of succession. Before a member died, they were required to identify a worthy successor, someone who possessed both the intellect to understand the book and the moral discipline to keep it hidden. Historical accounts suggest that legendary figures in Indian history were actually part of this chain. Charaka, the father of medicine, and Sushruta, who detailed complex surgeries thousands of years ago, are believed to have been the stewards of the medical volumes. Later, the mathematician Aryabhata likely held the volume on astronomy. His work correctly identified the rotation of the Earth and the mechanics of eclipses long before these concepts were accepted globally. This raises the possibility that Aryabhata's breakthroughs weren't personal discoveries, but a controlled release of the ancient data he was sworn to protect. In this model, human progress isn't a series of random leaps. It is a slow, drip-fed distribution of advanced data, released only when the guardians believe society can handle the implications. Clues to their presence remain embedded in Indian iconography, particularly in the geometry of the Ashoka chakra, which some believe encodes the structural layout of the society itself. The 9 also appear in Western history. In the year 999, Pope Sylvester II reportedly returned from a journey to India with a mechanical talking head and other advanced devices. His subsequent sudden death sparked rumors that he had breached the society's protocols. Perhaps the most visible anomaly is the Ganges River. Despite constant, high-level pollution from millions of users, the water consistently demonstrates self-purifying properties that baffle modern environmentalists. One theory suggests the 9 placed a sterilization technology, possibly a low-level radiation source, inside an ancient temple near the river to keep the water safe for the population. Direct intervention often happens during public health crises. In the late 1800s, the researcher Alexandre Yersin traveled to India while the world was struggling to contain the bubonic plague. Historical reports indicate that Yersin met with the lineage's descendants in Madras. Shortly after these consultations, he successfully isolated the plague bacillus and helped develop the treatment for cholera. These events suggest the 9 operate as a safety valve, leaving behind scientific breadcrumbs to help humanity survive outbreaks and environmental collapse. As the world entered the modern scientific age, the society's work became even more critical, moving from ancient scrolls to the foundations of 21st century aerospace and physics. Researchers link the ancient book of astronomy to the rapid rise of India's space program, ISRO, through its founder, Vikram Sarabhai, who achieved advanced orbital milestones with surprising efficiency. This has led researchers to look at later titans like Nobel physicist C.V. Raman or the revolutionary leader Subhash Chandra Bose, men who possessed specific elite mastery in the exact fields of physics and warfare that Ashoka sought to guard. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam is often cited as a modern guardian. As a scientist, he controlled the nation's most advanced weaponry, but as a leader, he lived with a strict mandate to maintain peace and ethical discipline. These figures are united by a specific pattern. They held the keys to immense power, but remained focused on using that knowledge solely for national defense and the welfare of the population. This hidden history is slowly entering the public consciousness, moving from the research of Talbot Mundy in 1923 to modern cinematic depictions and digital media. Today, we face a global landscape marked by regional conflicts, new viral threats, and resource instability. In this environment, the Nine must remain more vigilant and more hidden than ever. Their primary function is to monitor our progress and ensure that our technical reach does not exceed our moral grasp. Our most advanced modern breakthroughs today may actually be the controlled release of information from Ashoka's 2,000-year-old archive.